YouTube, what's good? Welcome to the Kirsten Carl Show. This your boy Kirs right here, aka Spank, with my boy Carl. Yes,
That's
sir.
my Chase Claypool.
Yeah. Yes, my boy's out in Denver. I'm here in Charlotte. Again, this is the Kirsten Carl Show, where we talk all things NFL, and maybe some other stuff too sometimes. But today, we're going to talk about a very odd team this year. They went all in.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting team. They went all in, but it's looking a little shaky. We talking about the LA Rams, man. Um, they lost four straight, I think, before they beat up on the Jaguars. Got embarrassed by the Niners. Packers handled them pretty much the whole game. So with that being said, they are sitting at 8-4 at a wild card position. Arizona is still leading that division with the matchup up to come this week. So what do you think is the issue with the Rams when they face some of these better teams in the NFC? And do you think Matthew Stafford was an answer they were looking for when they traded him away for when they traded Jared Goff away and gave up all those picks for him?
Well, I think Matt Stafford has been a blessing and a curse in a way for the Rams because before he got there, the Rams ran the football. Now, granted, they don't really have a running back that is like they don't have a running back that's making a Pro Bowl, that's for sure. Henderson's okay, but I don't think he's an every down back in the NFL. I think the stats lay it out. They've gotten away from the run. They're 21st in rush attempts per game. They're 23rd in rush yards per game. They're third in passing yards per game. So, I think when Jared Goff was there, that was kind of flipped. They were top 5 in rush attempts per game, bottom third in pass attempts. And that Sean McVay offense, I think, was better in a lot of ways. Now, they still have some of the, same plays, off of play action and stuff, but they don't do it nearly as much. I think they're a little more one-dimensional. Now, granted, like I said, that's because of injury. Obviously, Cam Akers going down with that injury really hurts this team.
Mm-hmm.
They got, 3 Hall of Famers on defense. I don't know if there's any other team that can say that. Jalen Ramsey is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Von Miller will be a Hall of Famer, and then certainly Aaron Donald will be a Hall of Famer. And, the defense is pretty good. They're 7th opponent rushing yards per game in the NFL right now. So they're stopping the run. And, you have to be able to do that to win in the playoffs. If you can't stop the run, like the way the Bills ran out there against the Pats and the Pats lined up and just ran it down their throat, that's an indication you're going nowhere, really. You're going nowhere fast. So, the Rams can stop the run when they want. They have some playmakers on the back end too. Maybe some holes in that defense at linebacker. But I think this team can get on a roll. They have, they did lose the 3 straight before they beat up on Jacksonville. Now they got this big Monday night game. I actually like them. I picked them to win this game in the picks with the points. I think it was plus 2.5.
Check out our pick'em video, guys. Week 14 pick'em. We're gonna link it in the video, so check that out.
Yeah, so I picked them plus the 2.5. It wouldn't surprise me if they win this game. I think Sean McVay, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, OBJ seems like he's getting his feet underneath him. I think they right the ship and kind of start to peak at the right time. I think this team could be dangerous in the playoffs. And I like them to beat Arizona on Monday. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I do not think that they're going to be a big player in the playoffs. We've seen them go against the best teams in the playoffs. They did beat the Bucs. Other than take away the Bucs win, they got crushed by Green Bay, they got crushed by Arizona, and they got crushed by the 49ers. Those are all teams that they're probably going to see at some point, who are all physical teams that can run the ball and stop the run. So I think they're going to get bounced surprisingly to everyone in the first round, depending on their matchup. If they match up with any one of those 3 teams I named, maybe even Washington, because Washington can play defense and run the ball and control the clock. they're like you said, they can't run the ball anymore. They're too finesse. Um, they're too dependent on their golden boy that they brought in, Matthew Stafford, whom has never played in big games before. So I think that's going to show up in the playoffs.
He's played in big games, but he seemed to, he's choked.
Yeah,
I
not
guess that's how you meant it, but
not many big games in Detroit. Maybe against Green Bay a couple of times to
well, they had that playoff game,
against the
when
Cowboys.
Calvin was there, but
Yeah, but again, not many big games. Not many as Tom Brady, not as many as Aaron Rodgers, not as many as Jimmy G, um, not as many as Dak. Uh, he's tied with Heineke. So that's my thoughts on that. What do you think about the OBJ acquisition? Pairing him with Cooper Kupp creates a dynamic duo. What do you think about that? How far can they go with those guys at wideout?
I mean, I think the Rams, they have a chance to win it all. It wouldn't be the most shocking thing that's ever happened in NFL history, but I mean, I think the team has some holes, specifically at running back. Like I said, I mean, Cam Akers is just a huge blow.
Yeah.
And then Robert Woods going down, I think, is a
Oh
huge
yeah.
blow to the OBJ acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
in the fact that OBJ is supposed to kind of be playing that 3, get deep,
Mm-hmm.
do what he does best kind of thing. And now he's kind of having to take on some responsibilities that Robert Woods, was providing to that LA Rams football team.
No, you're right.
So as far as the playoffs, they're up 2 games in the wild card to the next closest team to them at 8-4. The next wild card is the football team at 6-6. So I like them to make the playoffs. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think they get in the playoffs. And I'm gonna ask you, we're gonna do a quick win-loss. So I'm gonna let you know the last 4 remaining games. You let me know win or lost and give me your thoughts on it. Short
Right.
thoughts. So we already know you picked them to win the Monday night game at Arizona. So that
Yep.
leaves them at 9-4. Next game, day after Christmas, they play the Vikings at Minnesota.
They play Seattle, right?
Oh shit. Oh, yep. Sunday the 19th. My bad. They play at home against Seattle. The surging Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I like them. I think they beat up on the Seahawks then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they traditionally own the Seahawks. Just wanted to add that in there. Next game, December 26th. They got the Vikings 1:00 game in Minnesota.
I can see the Vikings winning this game because they're going to be scratching and clawing for that last wild card spot. At home in Minnesota, that place gets super fucking loud.
Yeah, big skull, man.
Yeah, so I can see that causing some problems with the pass head because when it's super loud, it's obviously easier to run the ball, and the Rams can't run it. So if they're out there throwing it the whole time, that crowd gets into it. I can see them losing to Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take Minnesota. Ravens at Baltimore Ravens, January 2nd, day after New Year's. Who you got?
I like the Rams to win there.
Okay, yeah.
I think they go across the country, beat the Ravens, who the Ravens are so beat up in the secondary. I don't know who they're going to put on KUPP, OBJ, Van Jefferson, Higbee, the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of people to cover, and I don't think the Ravens are too hurt to do it.
Yeah, I agree. So that leaves them at, I think, 11-5. Last game of the season. They got embarrassed earlier this year on a Monday night game against the 49ers, January 9th at SoFi. Who you got?
I think by this point, the Rams' fate will be decided. I don't think they'll need this game. I think they'll be locked in as the wild card, as the first wild card team. So maybe they sit guys. I think San Francisco might win this if they're still scratching and clawing for that last wild card, just because I think San Francisco will need this game more, depending on how everything works out. So
Fantastic take. I love that take at the end. Anything else you got before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, just quickly, this team has obviously given up a lot of draft capital to get where they are, to get the players that they have. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head the picks they have, but it's not a lot. They hardly have any in this draft coming up. Where does that stand with you? Do you think that's paying off for them or not so much?
I would say final thoughts. Is that paying off? It's too early to tell right now. We got to get at least we got to see if they win a playoff game. If they lose uh game one playoffs as a wild card because they're gonna have to travel and they very well could travel and play someone like Tampa, something like that. Then Sean McVay's on the hot seat next year. You know, he just is. They went all out to win it this year. They went got Vaughn, OBJ, Matthew Stafford. He's got to be. He's on the hot seat as far as.
I don't think so. I mean, who are you going to get better than Sean McVay?
I mean, I don't think it even matters. I just think if you go all in, then somebody's got to take the blame for it. Who's gonna? What are they gonna do? Just blow it up?
They might fire. I think they fire the GM before they fire Sean McVay, but
Les Snead?
I'm not sure who it is.
I think it's Les Snead. Well, you might be right, but I think in the NFL is very fickle. So
Yeah,
you can
man, it's
go
a what
from
have you done for me lately business. That's
yeah.
for sure.
Doug Peterson got fired the season after he won the Super Bowl, right? 2 seasons later. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. He is young and he started the whole movement of young quarterbacks, but shit, Matt Stafford gets hurt and they starting John Walford next year. Sean McVay's gonna get some hot seat, I think. But that's very far off. So you're probably more right than me on that one.
All right, cool. Well, that about wraps it up. Tell us what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.